Okay, guys. Hello. Welcome back to Crochet Convos. My name is Ladi.
And I'm Oscar.
And today we are in a different space. I know. You guys are like, what the hell? Different seats, different microphones, not different microphones, but like just different location. We're trying everything out. And we had the idea. The guest room is too small. I'm hoping that the sound in here is still as good as it is in the guest room. So just bear with us. If we don't like how this ends up, we might not be here again.
We'll be in the backyard next time.
No, it is cold as fuck today.
With the little campfires and marshmallows.
Oh, that's so cute. But no.
Way to crush my dreams.
I know, baby. I'm sorry. But for those of you who are new here, my name is Ladi, and I do crochet videos, lifestyle vlogs, and you have stumbled upon, or you already know, this is my podcast with my beautiful husband. So just a little intro there. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the button that looks like this. We also have Patreon episodes. So after every episode we do here, we go and talk shit on my Patreon. So if you are
check it out.
If you like tea, go over there. But realistically, we talk about everything and anything over there. And we aren't as, like, what would you say? It's censored over there.
We let it loose a little bit.
You let it loose.
Really?
Yes. Over here, you're kind of like, yeah. And over there, you're like calling people bitches and shit.
Oh, not in a bad way.
Wrong? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, but it wasn't in a bad way.
Don't mind our little visitor over there, Chai Chai. That's the one thing I was a little worried about being out here is just like the dogs are just like, if you hear little, that's probably Tink.
It's not rats.
It is a rat, and her name is Tink, and she takes over our lives. But we're going to jump in. I am going to go through some questions I actually got from Ashlyn. And there were questions about mental health, which I thought would be really cool to talk about with you too, just because you don't talk about that much.
Yeah.
So I would love to get your opinion on this. So let me see. Talk about mental health, anxiety, depression, how to cope, advice. And there's also one that I thought was a really good question that I want to kind of jump into too. I got asked, and this is for me, and I want to get your opinion on it too. Do I struggle? So they're saying to me, do you struggle with the feelings as you don't bring in enough money as Oscar? And do you feel as an equal? How do you handle these thoughts? So I thought that was a really good question.
Good one.
Because I used to not bring in as much money as you until now. Now I bring in as much as you, if not sometimes more. So, but relatively, usually you do bring in more of the money into the household. When we first moved out here, like most people know, I worked in clinics, and my first clinic job that I got here, I was making big girl money, but I still wasn't making as much as Oscar. And I never really had a problem with it because I was still contributing to the household. Like I still was, giving you my part of this home. Was it as much as you were putting into this home? No. And I never really thought about it in a way that I wasn't an equal because you never treated me as such. There's only been one time where you made a decision without me, and that's backfired. And today, actually, you brought something up to me. We won't talk about it, but you asked me, and I disagreed. And I felt really happy that you came to me and asked me first, and you didn't do what you did the first time, right? So most of the time that we've been married and together, Oscar has been very, very, very inclusive of my feelings. He's always made me feel like this home is also my home just as much as it's his, regardless of how much money I brought in. There was a point where I talked about it in another podcast where I told Oscar, I really want to kind of go through this small business and see. And Oscar said, I got us right now. You can quit your job. I was scared shitless. And in those moments when I wasn't making enough money to contribute anymore, my feelings did change. I did feel like less than. I felt like I didn't have the right to make certain decisions, and it sucked. And I was like, no, I got to make this work. I don't feel like an equal. So I did struggle with that a lot. And I think you know this. I told you. I told you that I was like, I don't like feeling like I'm not doing anything. I don't like the feeling that I can't contribute. I don't want the stress of this whole house, or because I'm your wife, not your child. So I don't want you to have to think that you have to take care of me.
Right.
And a little toxic trait of me is like, I don't want you to ever feel like I like need you to survive, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's toxic or not, but I just wanted you to be aware. It's like, yes, I am your partner and I appreciate that you're taking care of me, but I never have been that kind of girl. There's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home wife. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't like the feeling. My dad growing up has always told me never rely on a man, never be dependent on a man. So I'm not saying you're gonna leave me or anything, but there's always like a little part of me that's like, I don't ever want to feel like if anything were to happen, I'd knock on whatever, but I just don't ever want to be in a place where it's like I cannot take care of myself. I don't want to be in a place where it's like, okay, what do I do now? So I struggled with that, but now looking back, Oscar has never ever made me feel like just because I make less money than him, then it means that he like can tell me what to do. Yes, I do think he's the man of the household. I do think you like take care of me and you do that protective role and stuff, but I don't think you ever are controlling of me. You never tell me what to do. You'll say your opinions on certain things, but it's not like that I'm not going to listen.
Yeah, I know your personality.
But in that case, let me flip it around on you. These few months, because I know a lot of people also have asked, because I've talked about it, where it's like I do sometimes, like I think it's been like 2 or 3 months where I've made more than you. What are your thoughts on that? Because there's some guys like your brother who has said, he's like, oh, I could never be comfortable with like a woman making more money than me. Not talking any shit about Oscar's little brother. I love him to death. Is he dumb? Yes, but I love him. I love him. He calls me dumb, so I just want to put that out there. But what is your opinion on that? How have you felt?
I think, well, first of all, it's a proud moment. Like as a husband, be like, oh, my wife is making as much money as me, which doesn't mean I'm making a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But you're like, all right,
don't downplay what I've made, dude. You just downplayed just downplayed how much money I'm fucking making.
No, I'm saying
fuck
like
you, dude.
No, I'm saying
it
like,
doesn't mean I'm making that much money.
No. What I'm trying to say is like, put in perspective, like we don't make like millions of
dollars.
No,
we're not rich. I think this whole YouTube thing, yeah.
Like we both make the same amount of money, and that's so cool to me. If you made 3 times the amount of money, I'm like, that's awesome. Like now for me, it would be a goal, not as I need to make more money than you, but it's like a friendly competition.
I'm the provider. Now you call me Papa.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
It's like now there's like a friendly competition. Like you push me like, hey, like you can make more money. Doesn't mean you have to make more money. Mm-hmm. And I'm super proud of you that you're making that as much as me. And I hope you make 10 times as much as me.
Me too.
You can stay at home.
Yeah,
just kidding.
And be a trophy husband.
Nah, I don't like doing that.
I know.
Even if, let's say you made $1 million a month, I still wouldn't stay home. It just, to me,
no,
it wouldn't, like I
need
to do something, Mm-hmm. But I mean, like I said, it's really cool that you're doing that. And if you made, like I said, so much more money than me, I think it's within myself, it's a friendly competition to be like, hey, she makes a lot of money, I can make that money too. Like, doesn't mean but I'm not striving to beat you.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that, because then I feel like the conflict starting, like,
yeah,
I make, like, I bring this, and then
exactly.
like, I bring that, and it's
exactly.
Like, it won't end well.
That's I feel that way exactly too. I just feel like it kind of shows how much you're not, like, I think we grew up in like machismo era. Like, I mean, it's a Hispanic thing, like where the husband works, the wife stays home, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I grew up in a home where my mom worked and my dad also worked. So I saw income come from both parents. And I think you come from a household where, your mom did work. She didn't work once you guys were born because she wanted to stay home and raise you guys as well. but you came home you came from a home where you have a strong mother figure and a father figure, where your mom didn't like go to your guys' beck and call. Your mom made you guys cook, your mom made you guys clean, and every day. And I think that really kind of helped with you as well, because you don't look at me as like an esclava. Like, you don't look at me as like a woman is just made for cleaning and cooking, you know? Like, I think that's something cool that your mom did, was like, no, you guys, yes, you guys have fucking penises, but you guys also are going to do the work that you need to do. Like, I'm not here to be your slave. So I thought that was really awesome. And I think it shows how kind of secure you are in your own masculinity and as the like man of this household, where it's like, I don't think I ever have to worry about you holding over my head, like telling me, oh, well, I make X amount of money and you have to listen to me. Like, you've never been that way. And I've always appreciated that about you, because it's like, for a minute, like, I was kind of like scared that would be something that would happen, especially being with someone who's like taking over most of the payments at one point you were. So I felt really like weird for a while, and it would between myself. But you know, it's been a really cool learning situation. Again, we're not rich whatsoever. I think before we can say we were definitely living paycheck to paycheck, like barely, but like, you know, we were budgeting, living paycheck to paycheck. And like now, again, I feel like we have to reiterate, like, we're not rich, but now it feels like we can kind of breathe a little bit and like, you know, plan things now. Like, now we're like, okay, like maybe we have a trip in March, or maybe we'll have a trip in May, you know, and like, or like we just went to a cabin trip, you know what I mean? And it's just like those little things that like we couldn't do before, because Oscar and I have always said we really, really want to, like, I've just seen so many videos of people who have a lot of money now and they're older, and then they were like, what's something you regret? And they're like, I regret not traveling when I was younger. Like, that money comes back. Like, use the credit card, that the money will come back, but the time won't. So I hear that and I'm like, oh my gosh, because we've been so like, I think me and you are so on the go right now, where we're like, okay, well, we have to have this X amount so that we can go here. When in reality, it's like, I feel like we kind of got to start like living in the moment, you know, like you turn 25. You're going to turn 26. Oh, Happy New Year, y'all. Merry Christmas. And I'm going to turn 25 in like 2 months. Yeah. And it's a leap year this year. So an extra day till my birthday. Oh. I hate it. I hate leap years, even though they're good luck.
I didn't even know it was the 4th year. 24. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. And that jumps into the next thing, where it's like, struggling with a lot of people know, like, I'm very, very open, and you've heard me, I talk about it to anyone and everyone who wants to talk about it, because like I'm not ashamed of it. Like, I do struggle with anxiety. I struggle with depression. What, baby? Oh, and I feel like this year, I think you've been a little bit more open to the thought of like, you know, thinking about your mental health too this last year, where like you started journaling. You started putting routines in yours as well to try to focus on your mental health. And I just feel like for me, as of recently, I kind of have obviously felt like I was balanced because of the medication I'm on, as well as, you know, putting the steps into as well, journaling on my own, taking the own time to be within myself, joining Muay Thai, and like kind of putting myself first. I was kind of putting myself on the back burner for a little bit at the end of the year, and I felt burnt out. But with you, I kind of wanted to ask you, like, how was like starting that journey for you? Like, what made you decide, like, I need to start journaling? What made you decide that? Like, was it your mental health? You felt it like it wasn't okay, or did you even look at it that way, or how would you say? I know that was a lot. No,
yeah. I started it not because I was feeling like I was falling apart. That's not how it was. It's like every time you would ask me, like, hey, how do you feel? I'm like, I don't know. Like, to this day, I never think of how I feel. I don't think about it because I'm doing work, or now I need to do this, or next I need to work out, next I need to do this, next I need to do this. So I never think about it. So the journaling part, that's where I sit and then be in the moment, and then just think if it's 5 to 10 minutes max, that's when I think of how do I actually feel and be a little bit more present of me. So the journal asks me 3, what are you thankful for? And, it can be very superficial, or you can go a little deeper. And then how do you feel, that morning? And, and like I said, it takes you 5 minutes, but other than the rest of the day, I don't think of, I want to say I don't have time to think about it, but you always have time to think about it. But I have not been in that routine to think about how am I feeling. So yeah, I didn't start it because I was falling apart. It's just maybe if I dedicate, those 5 to 10 minutes to think of actually by myself and how I actually feel, because maybe I am falling apart and I don't even know.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Just because you're journaling doesn't also mean that you have to feel like you're falling apart. It doesn't have to be that dramatic. It also can just be you're checking in within yourself to make sure that you're doing it. You don't have to feel like you're falling apart. It doesn't have to be that bad. And
I think that's why partially I did it because I want to think about what I'm feeling. But second of all, I just want to know why am I doing what I'm doing? For what?
Yeah.
My purpose, okay, I write it down for my wife, for my parents, for my brothers, for my family, and I write it down every single day. That's what I write.
But at what point, sorry to cut you off, are you doing it for you? Where are you in that equation?
I've never written for me.
Exactly. You're doing all these journaling and stuff, and it's you're supposed to do it, for your own mental health. But me and you have talked about this, and Oscar does this a lot. And there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. But at what point do you actually focus on you? You say for me, which I love you. Thank you for me. But I'm putting myself first at some points. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you have to put yourself first sometimes. I think that's what you've always done. I think you've always put me first. You've put me first. Then you put your family first. Then you put your other people first. And then you put, someone else and someone else and someone else and then you. And so when I ask you, because backstory, I used to ask Oscar, because I was reading books, and my books would kind of try to rewire the way I think, which has helped a lot. And I have to think back to myself and be how am I feeling? What have I said to myself today that I'm proud of what I've done today? And I remember I would go to you and I'd be what's something good you did today that you felt proud of yourself for? Or how are you feeling today? And it's we said, you're I never know how I'm feeling because I don't check in with myself. And right now you're saying well, I put my wife first, I put my family first, which is all fine. But I know me personally and your family are going to be okay, well, are you good? You need to start putting yourself first. So it's también you're saying oh, well, I journal not because I'm falling apart, which it's you don't have to be falling apart to check in on yourself. But at the same time, that journaling,
I think the book is for me. I don't think me writing down for me. It's for me. I think the whole book is
fair.
For me. There's a little section that I think it says, what are good traits about you, I think. And I feel I write down the same thing almost every day, just to if you tell yourself I'm strong, you're gonna think you're stronger than what you usually are, right?
Yeah.
So I always say I'm strong, I'm smart, and I put a handsome, the little things just to give you positive vibes, towards you, I guess.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're man, I'm not that smart, but you probably are, but you're just jinxing yourself, or but if you write down I'm smart, I'm strong, even if you're not strong, just write down I'm strong, and your mind will think that you're that.
Yeah, words of affirmation are really important. I do that every day too.
There are a couple of things that I write down, but I think that book is for me. Working out is for me. I don't work when I work out. It's not.
Okay, we switched out guests now. Our recorder died, and Minnie is now our new guest versus Chai. And what were we saying?
Giving these to some
celery. Oh yeah, that would be cute. But
with the tiny little mics.
No, but what I was saying was like, I guess it's like I'm saying it over and over again, but someone was stressed about a situation where it's like you can't control what other people do or what other people are going to say. Yes, it sucks to be the villain in someone's story. Yes, it sucks for people to talk shit about you. It's a sucky feeling. Like, it's easier said than done. But the best way I can explain it, and this is why I have that tattoo, and I've said it before, why I have that tattoo, and you don't necessarily have to tattoo this word on you. It's just a good thing for me. And I look back on it, it's like, it was like this motivational story from, what's his face? Is it Denzel? I think it's Denzel
Washington.
Yeah, he like has like this motivational speech. I think it's when he was talking to a bunch of college kids, and he was like, when you're dead and you are laying on your deathbed and you are surrounded, you will be surrounded for every single thing you didn't go for or every single achievement you didn't strive for. You know what I mean? And it's like your failed everything you wanted to do but you didn't do because you were too scared to do it is going to haunt you, and there's going to be ghosts all around you. How many of those ghosts are going to be around you? And think back to yourself, and are those the things you want to be surrounded by? Or think about the position that you're in and the situation that's stressing you out. You know, that's how I took it, where it's like, is this going to fucking matter when I'm going to die? Is this going to matter? Like, is someone, you know, is this yarn situation gonna matter when I'm gonna die?
Hell no.
No. Is someone else's like, you know, view of you gonna matter when you're on your deathbed? Or like all the people who message me like, how do you start your YouTube, or how do you do this? It's like, you literally just start it. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. There's no right way of doing anything. Like, it's just how you do it, and it needs to be genuine to you and who you are. You can't just see other people and try to do it.
You can't copy someone else.
You can't, because it's like you are you and they are them. So it's like that motivational speech from Denzel, like it has stuck with me. And I used to, like, back when I used to work at the gym or work out at the gym, I would go on the Stairmaster and I would listen to the same motivational speech every single day, because it was 10 minutes long and I needed to warm up for 10 minutes, and I would listen to it every day. And I would say, I did not want any of those ghosts haunting me. I didn't want any of those things to stay with me. I didn't want the chance of me passing away and then me be haunted by all of these things that I could have done. And then soon after, when I built up the courage, because I didn't want to let Denzel down. And I'm just kidding. But I didn't want to let him down, or let myself down, should I say. And I picked up the camera. I remember I told you, I was like, I'm literally just going to show what I have. Yeah. And I'm just going to say what I sell. And then people started commenting that they felt like they were on FaceTime with me. And yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts on that.
Is there something...
Wait.
What happened? I'm playing?
Mm-hmm.
You're about to be 25 years old.
Yeah.
Is there something that you wish you could have done and you didn't at this point? And it's still early on. Now you're like, if you were 16, I mean, it's still too early, but you're about to be 25 years old. Is there,
say it again, is there anything that I wish I would have done already?
Yeah.
That I didn't do?
Yeah.
I wish I didn't know what I knew now sooner. I wish I would have thought the way I'm thinking now back then. You know what I mean?
That one's tough.
Like,
it's like you don't know what you don't know.
No, I know, but no, because I knew that then, but I couldn't process it the way they wanted me to process it. And that easily could have been just because I was young. Could it be all my emotions and, you know, your brain's not fully developed yet. And I had really traumatic things happen to me when my brain was at its full, like, you know, it was still developing, and trauma affects the way your brain develops, regardless of how people think. But it really does. And when you have traumatic experiences happen to you, whether it be a death of a family member, death of a friend, or trauma that happens to you within yourself when you're younger, it really does fuck with you. So for me, I feel like I wish I would have been able to take what I understand now back then when I was like 15, 16, 17, and be able to put it to my life then, because I feel like I would have saved myself so much heartache, saved myself so much trauma, so much sadness, because I would allow little things to engulf me. I would think that one thing was the end of the world, and you were always there to pick up the pieces. And like, I always have struggled with this feeling of feeling like a burden, because I do have my issues, and no one signs up for that, especially like I just felt like I was a burden to you, to my family, to everyone. And I just wish I would have been able to use what I was told, like, just like, it's easier said than done. Right. But now that I'm older, I understand, and I'm able to work on myself, and I am a lot happier, and I feel a lot happier. Like, I used to be like, oh, I'm happy, but I wasn't happy,
Yeah, it was very like superficial.
I was very, very, yes. Like, I would just be like, yes, I'm happy. And like, when we first moved here to Vegas, like, we made friends and we made these, connections, but they were never real for me because I wasn't in a good place. Like, I just couldn't like be myself anytime.
What you doing?
You have anything to say? You've been with me with all the dramatics and all the, hey, I'm talking to you. Look, she's not going to look at me. Rude. Minnie, in your opinion, how has mom done? Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, so I guess that's what I would change, is just like, I wish I could have processed it and done it when I was older or younger.
You would have definitely, like, I mean, if you would have started anything that you know now a long time ago, maybe you would have progressed like 2 times faster, 3 times faster. But would you change it though?
Would I change being able to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, up to this point, would you change anything? Like, would in the second life, would have done the same thing over again to this point, just because of who you are now? Because if you would have started this 6 years ago, I don't think you would be like this, right?
Oh, who I am?
Yeah, you would have been a little bit different.
Oh, I guess that's true. But are you saying it in a sense of like like, if I were to do life again, if I would take out all the trauma? Is that what you're asking? Like, all the things that happened to me, like, would I take that away? Is that what you're asking? Or are you asking, like, I don't understand what you're asking.
I don't think I know what I'm asking either.
I knew you did it. I knew you did it. At the moment,
I'm like, oh, this is a good.
Whoa.
But no. Minnie, what do you have to say about that? She's like, you idiot.
Little nose bob. She went. She's so cute.
I like this setup.
You like this?
Yeah.
Let me know in the. Do not kick me, bruh. She just kicked me. Now she's giving me a devil eye. Let us know what you guys think. It's way more comfy. Yes, I agree. It's way more comfy.
I mean, we can definitely have other people here if we want to.
Yes.
I mean, the dogs are not annoying. You can go to sleep.
Try sleeping on the ground now. But where are we at right here?
We're at like almost about. We're probably like 45 minutes.
Well, I think it's good. We can like probably close that out here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a different place. I hope you guys liked it. Let us know what you think. It's a lot comfier. I know the sound. I'm kind of nervous about the sound, but it's fine. And yeah, so if you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the button that looks like this. Don't forget to subscribe. Let us know what you thought. And if you're interested, we do have Patreon episodes where we're very unfiltered. We say whatever the fuck we want.
We're loosey-goosey.
It's going to be in the description box below if you want to check it out. What else? Oh, for those of you, I don't have it with me, but I have my dragon is coming out in 2 days. My dragon pattern, Posey the Fairy Dragon. If you want to hear more about that, you should definitely think about joining the Patreon. And yeah, I will see you guys next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Well, I'll see you guys. Yeah. We'll see you next Thursday for the pod. Bye, guys.